Hi, fellow traders. I hope you guys had a great long weekend. I hope you got some rest. You recharged those batteries. You went over some things that you needed to go over. And you're ready to get back at this trading deal. Whoa, who is this ugly guy looking at me? He needs a haircut, shave. Really, he needs to go on back up in the hills and keep making that moonshine. Because that's about all he's good for right now. Ugh, scary. But I want to share this with you today. It kind of goes along with what happened to me today. But most people have the will to win. Everybody wants to win, but few have the will to prepare a plan to win. Now, a lot of times it's just we just want to go in and play the game. We don't want to do the preparation. We don't want to do the everything that we need to make sure we're prepared to play. I'll never forget, my daughter loved playing basketball. And then she was fine at practice. There was no big deal. But then when they got to middle school ball, they had to do conditioning. And she didn't want to do it. Conditioning was part of the plan to get them ready to play ball at that level. But she didn't want to do it. She wanted to play the game. She wanted to win, but she didn't want to put in the work. And, a lot of us in trading, we're the same way. We just want to learn how to trade. I can't tell you how many people have sent me emails saying, look, I don't want to go through the classes. I don't want to do this. I just want you to tell me when to get in and out, how to do this. Just go in and out of trades. That's all I want to know. And I can't help them. I'm not going to set them up for failure like that. So you got to have a plan. And I'm not just talking about a trading plan. We all know we need trading plans. We also need to have a plan when something goes wrong. Like today, I had something go bad wrong. But I had a plan to deal with it. It's happened to me before. So I knew what I needed to do in order to handle it. Other people were like out of sorts for me. But I'm like, hey, don't worry about it. I know what I'm doing. I've done this before. I've been through this. I know. But that's another reason why I like to stream this thing live, so you can see exactly what I'm going through, everything that I'm dealing with, and how I deal with it, and the fact that I have a plan to address 99% of what's going to happen. Now, there's always going to be some unique things that happen, things that has never happened before, and we learn from those, and we develop a plan so that if that happens again, we know exactly how to address it. And that's pretty much what this is all about. And we all want to win. We all want to win. But we have to make sure that we have that plan that, hey, if we get hit in the mouth, we still got that plan. We're not going to change plans just because we got hit. We're going to have one of those Rocky Balboa plans. Those plans where he says it's not about how hard you get hit, but it's not about how hard you hit or how hard you can get hit. It's how hard you can get hit and keep on going. How hard you can get hit and keep driving forward. And that's what it's all. We got to have those type plans about everything. And we got to have a plan even to get to profitability. That's why I laid out my roadmap to success. It is a plan. It's a roadmap to get you to where you are now to being a consistently profitable trader. Where you go from there, how much money you make, is going to depend on how much you have, your account size, how comfortable you are sizing up. But you're going to have the skill that you need to build off of. And that's the key. The things that I teach you in that for only $250 can make you thousands and thousands of dollars. All you have to do is trust in, believe in, and follow that roadmap and learn and develop the skills that I want you to develop. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. I wanted to put something out there that, hey, if I was coming along and I was just starting out, what would I want to look for? I wanted to see somebody who would trade in front of me every day live so that I could see exactly what they did, understand what they did, be able to ask questions. Be able, somebody that's going to be there. In this program, that's what it's all about. So I just made it a no-brainer. But that's a plan. That's a plan to get you from where you are now to being a consistently profitable trader. So why did I need a plan today? All right, we're going to get into that. So let's take a look at this chart right now. And this is one of the reasons why I don't like to have a bias, why I never really have a bias going into the morning. Even though this stock is trending up, obviously we're trending up. You look at the overall trend, and so it's a no-brainer to take the opening range breakout here. Just a no-brainer. We've got the pre-market high up here, which is a good first target, which is what our first target was. But you can see we tried to push up a little bit, and then we ended up failing. I mean, it ended up coming back so fast till it wasn't even funny. Right there. So what happened to me was I was going to put my stop in. You guys know I always let that first candle print because a lot of times that first candle is the most volatile. So once this candle printed and we look at it in relation to everything else, who wouldn't feel comfortable? Who wouldn't feel comfortable that, okay, this triggered a long, so we're going to get in. Shouldn't have any problems. This stock's not jumping around real big. Nice smooth candlesticks. And before I could put my stop in, the bottom fell out of this thing. I mean, it started selling and it was scary. So I didn't have time to put my stop in, so I used my kill button. I got a kill long and a kill short hot button. I clicked my kill long and it partially took me out. And this is a market order. This isn't limit. This is a market order. So it should have filled if all of the orders at one price were gone. It should have filled it at the next best price. And it didn't. It froze. It just sat there pending. And I sat there for a couple seconds waiting to see if it was going to fill. It just kept saying pending. The stock kept dropping. And so I tried to cancel it. It wouldn't cancel. I tried to hit another order. I hit kill again. Still didn't work. It just froze. But I have a plan. This has happened before. So I had a plan. I didn't freak out. I didn't go crazy and throw stuff against the wall. Now, maybe if my wife hadn't left, if she had left for work already, maybe I would have come unglued a little bit. But maybe her being home and, me not wanting to act like I'm losing my ass kept me calm and cool and collected the way I needed to be so that I could execute my plan. And it was, once I go through that, log all the way off and then log back in. And that's what I did. So as soon as I logged back off and logged back in, here's what happened. The second part of my stop the kill order that I put in filled. And then the whole kill order, the second kill order when I hit, filled, which put me short. All right, so here's the plan for when I get in a trade by accident. Do not panic out. Assess the situation. So I quickly looked. We're washing out. I know this. And it puts me short. And I'm like, well, it's going short. Looks like we may get to the 200 or even go get red to green. Looks like we're just going to roll through this stuff. So let's hold it and see how far we can go. And that's what I did. I had a stop, which was the 50. I had a target in mind. The final target was going to be the 90 down here. I was looking to get to the 50. These are from the daily chart. So I'm looking and I'm like, I should be able to nail these if this thing is selling this hard. So let's see what happens when it gets around here. Maybe I have to take profit here, maybe not. But the goal was getting to the 50 and then getting to the 90 day from the daily. So I'm just letting it work. And I'm in this trade. I've already forgotten about the first trade. I've already forgotten about the platform getting stuck. Even though I'm on hold with Speed Trader, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm focusing on this trade. And so you could see how I can take this off now. But you can see how this thing just fell off the face of the earth. It was just rolling over. We were not on short sale restriction. So this was really trading well. Got to the first target, and I'm like, man, there's no reason why we can't get down. There's no reason why we can't get there. And sure enough, we bounced here. This wasn't a level. This is just, I marked the low of this candle. We bounced here and rejected. So I'm like, I'm feeling good now. Got my chest stuck out. I've, kind of survived the storm. And this is going to be my trade. I'm actually executing this. And I'm taking control of this trade back. I get in. We have a nice move. It's choppy. But this thing starts trading like it's on short sale restriction. It felt just like a stock on short sale restriction. And it started trading that way. And then we just kind of worked our way on up. And I had to take it off. It reached my max pain level. Because had I not added back, I would have just left this on. And maybe added under here later on in the day. But, I was feeling good. I was smelling myself. Added to this trade. And then ended up having to stop out here. It was still a profit target. But, very disappointing. So, and I said before I was going to lunch, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to watch this. So I sat here for a little bit, and once it looked like we weren't going to break this, I went ahead and left. And when I got back from lunch, this is what we saw. We were losing the 50. Once we got through this level here, I took it. We're looking for a trend continuation. We're continuing the trend down. I'm telling you, trend trading is very, very strong. It's very powerful. And the market was crap today. The volume here was just no good. But look how it trended. So once a stock is trending, you just ride it. And so we made a lower high here. We made lower lows. So we were starting to trend down. Not all trends are going to look alike. But what happened in here, we were just trading sideways. This is a trend too. We were trending sideways. We were trending in a channel. So, in contrary to popular belief, there are three directions a stock can trend. It can trend up, it can trend down, it can trend sideways, just like this. There are people who scout stocks that are trending in a channel. They'll sell the top and buy the bottom. Buy the bottom, sell the top. That's all they're doing in that window. And then once it breaks through, they're done with it. And that's when guys like me, when it breaks out of that channel, I'm ready to pounce. And that's what happened here. Broke out of the channel, jumped short, covered some right here. Always lower day. I'm going to respect it. I'm going to take some off. I'm going to lighten up. I meant to take 2/3 off, but I took half. And we ended up bouncing up, getting stopped out. But what happened here was I accidentally bought again I accidentally clicked sell instead of buy. So that kind of canceled itself out. So we went up, we rejected up here. And as soon as we lost the 20, this candle closed below the 9 and the 20. This candle confirmed it, making a lower low. That's my trigger to enter. And wrote it down to this 41.10 level. And this was the final target, but it was like 10-15 minutes before the market closed. Why not hold on to it to see how low it could go? I put in 40.50. I just put in an order for 40.50 in case we hit this and then had a quick wash before we bounced. And this ended up, being a larger sell-off going into the close than I thought. But okay with that. We can't pick tops and bottoms. The worst thing we can do is try to pick tops and bottoms on these trades. We trade the meat of the move. Don't worry about trying to nail the top or nail the bottom. That's going to take care of itself. But we just stick to trading the trend, and then we're good to go. All right, so that's me trading trend continuation. Let's say you're a guy who all you want to do is get set up. Whichever way the opening range is going to go, you're going to get in a trade, and you're going to look to let that run all day, and you're going to expect it to trend in the direction that the opening range told you. All right, and that's going to be your thing. And maybe you wait 15 minutes, or maybe you wait 30 minutes and then get the trend. Whatever the case is, this would have worked out beautifully. It would have worked out beautifully. And just getting in and holding the trend, setting your targets. You can set one target here, one target here. Man, you could be at work. You can just monitor it on your phone, or you can set alerts. I used to set an alert every time it came close to a level, because I could trade on my phone if I needed to get out of a position or manage it. So I would have my stop and my profit targets. And once it hit a profit target, I could come in and adjust my stop. And if I didn't have enough buying power and I could only do one or the other, I would, have my profit target there and then have an alert if it got close to my stop, so that I could kill it and kill the trade. But no, that was the way I just ran. So the trends are very powerful. And I know we like to trade that momentum at the open, but there's a lot more in the market, and you don't have to sit here all day. This is one you just could have sat and forgot and just gone to work, do whatever. That doesn't really matter. Roku on Friday, the same way. Just don't worry. These you just let the trend work while you do other stuff. It's just kind of a no-brainer. All right, so we made 669.23. Not bad, considering this first trade to the long side got me for $911. Now I don't know if I'm gonna get like 400 of that back. I don't know yet. They may come in and say, hey, it's not our system, had to be your computer, and I would believe them, because I had 2 instances this morning where the chat room disconnected me from the media server, so I had to go back and reconnect to the media server so I could talk to you guys and stream. But that's the first time that ever happened. So maybe it was my computer, maybe it was my internet this morning. Who knows? But whatever they decide, whatever they come up with, I will accept, because as a trader, I accept the risk. Every time I get in a trade, I have to accept the risk. If I don't, things are not going to work out well. But really, really happy that I stuck to the plan. I kept my cool. And this is what you guys have to do every day. Every day without fail. Now, I wish I wasn't live streaming, because I could use this chart and I could make myself look like the biggest genius, the best trader in the world. I could turn all this around and make it look so good. You wouldn't know the difference. That's why it's so important, guys, that if you can be there, watch it happen live, listen to what's going through my mind, whether it's good or bad, and understand what it takes to navigate these waters. You got to know what it's going to take, and you got to be ready. You got to have a plan to react to any problem that may come your way. There are going to be a lot of problems we haven't encountered yet, but once we encounter them, we already know that all we need is a process, and we may have a generic process to address the issue until we can put one specific together. But that was my day. I hope you guys have a great rest of the evening. I talked a little bit too much, so sorry about that. You might have to take this video in stages, but you guys be good. I'll holler at you tomorrow.